For nearly 8 years, they waited patiently. After all, Rob and Rachel were nearly inseparable. Would he? Wouldn't he? In moments of quiet solitude, George couldn't help his daydreaming, reflecting on what the future might have in store. They'd grown tired of all the queries from interested relatives about their child's status, and they were happy and delighted when Rob finally found his voice.
George County, down one knee,
But now it seemed suddenly real and not just another figment of George's overactive imagination. They had briefly met Rachel's parents a few times in the past and had exchanged informal pleasantries. Now it was official and time to meet.
That was really creative, the way Robert sang his proposal to Rachel. She is lovely. The whole setup was lovely, and her parents are really lovely people.
He's adorable. They must love him. How could they not love him?
He's our child, of course. But listen, George. George, look at me. Okay? You need to back off, okay? You are a control freak. Everybody thinks you're easygoing, but you are a control freak, so please, this is their affair. Back off.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm happy to be a bystander. I mean, I've had 3 bar mitzvahs already. I'm happy to sit in the background.
Suddenly, George felt anxious.
Think it would be a normal wedding?
What's normal, okay? It will be fine. It doesn't matter. They love him.
And like many events, it all begins with a knock on the door.
Just a minute. I'll be right there. George, Barbara.
Gene, congrats.
Welcome. Come in. Man, George.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What a lovely house.
Please come in.
Oh my gosh.
Look at the spread. Oh my God.
Hey, that's the way to roll.
For you. Okay, thank you.
You know, George, we left Russia with nothing. Just a single suitcase. We didn't even know where we would end up. Of course, we wanted to go to the United States, but we didn't know whether we were going to be able to get in. We spent almost a year in Italy just waiting for permission. But we love the country. As a matter of fact, for 30 years, we go back nearly every year. It's almost like second home to us.
Did you know that my grandfather is from Italy and my brother Mark lives in Italy? And we still have relatives across the country, like mostly near Volterra and Florence and Rome.
I knew I liked you.
Well, let's drink to our good fortune.
Yay! Yay!
It's a little early for me, you know, especially vodka. I mean, I barely partake.
This is an unfortunate stereotype, George, that you're propagating. Not all Russians drink vodka. As a matter of fact, our friends are almost exclusively tequila drinkers. How often do you celebrate your children? Let's drink.
Woohoo!
This is good stuff. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Come on, George. You don't need to after the first one. Drink to our health.
Gene, this is really a little early for me.
Be a man! This is your son, for Christ's sake.
Wanna mix it with a pickle juice or something?
No, this is fine, really.
To your health.
George began to feel the warmth and comfort of this magical elixir, and now he felt it was his turn to break the ice.
So, Marina, how's the salon business? You know, I could actually use a manicure.
Let me see your hands. Rachel said that you're in construction. And yet, they're the most delicate, softest hands that I've seen. Bring them in. We'll see if I can toughen them up.
Be gentle with him, okay?
I can be pretty tough.
Not really.
Okay, let's see. Let's wrestle.
What are you, a bully or something?
Just for fun.
Just for fun.
Really? What am I doing here?
Put him up.
Wow. Ready?
Yeah. Вот как маленький мальчик из деревни. Let's drink to us.
By the fifth toast, George's analytical side had reached full capacity. He began to realize that these people could drink, and they were very, very smart.
So, Gene, I know you work at one of the government laboratories. What do you do?
Yes, Argonne National, nuclear engineer.
I bet you're good at math and science.
I'm very good. You know, Marina was a scientific mathematician in Russia. As a matter of fact, both girls are very good at math.
Yeah.
Both could have gone to University of Chicago, MIT in Massachusetts.
You know, I went to school in Boston, but when I was there, I actually attended a musical once over at MIT.
Really?
You know, Gene, as a prominent engineer, you might find this interesting. And not to blow my own horn, but in my restoration company, I helped develop in the 1980s the concept of air drying. It was sort of a new kind of thing where things that were wet from water damage would actually, you could actually blow them dry. It was really cool.
And they paid you for that?
Well, not at first. You know, when they first learned about it, they said, you know, duh, air. I mean, who would do that? But, you know, we all got together, me and the Brain Trust. We all talked about it, and we renamed it Hydra Air. And after that, the insurance companies thought it was scientific, and they paid us a lot of money. Really did really well off of it.
I think the proper term would be hydro with an O, not hydra. Is that right?
It could be right.
And you invented this concept?
Not really invented. But I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
You're joking, right? I knew it. I like you. Come here, George. Oh, Marina, he's like a little man cub. Come on, let's drink to our family.
George had finally found a new friend. And being set in his ways, new friends were not always easy for George to find. And as they continued to drink, George became rather pleased with himself. After all, he had successfully navigated Jewish-Italian differences for over 30 years. A few cultural differences could only add spice.
So tell me, what are you guys thinking? A big wedding, small wedding?
Have you ever been to a Russian wedding? Food, 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 even more food. Onions and cream sauce, herring, and plenty of liquor on the tables.
You know, that sounds interesting, to be honest. You know, my father would be in heaven with a menu like that. I mean, a couple sardines and he wants to kiss you. I love that sardine breath. But my family's a little bit on the plain side. You know, if they even see onions or mayo, they'd be out of there by 8:30.
George, you worry too much. Do they like to try new things?
Let me put it this way. One of them goes to the same restaurant, orders the same thing, with the entire family for the last 12 years. Their motto, I know what I like, why would I ever want to try anything else?
Anyway, we love Rob.
And we love Rachel.
Grandparents love Rob. You know, we can't wait to indoctrinate him into the Russian family.
What does that mean?
When my mother got married, my grandparents bought them a very nice bedroom furniture. And it really wasn't bedroom furniture, it was like a feather bed. Actually, I think my grandfather plucked the chickens himself. Well, remember, that was Russia. You know, in Russia, it's the groom's parents that pay for the wedding. And the bride's parents give a nice wedding gift.
Like a feather bed.
Like a feather bed. Some traditions we must bring.
This is really a bit overwhelming, the wedding and all. Is there a restroom I can go to?
I think there's a sign on the door, George.
Good luck, George.
Adapt. Indoctrinate. George was beginning to sense a certain uneasiness. In the comfort of these safe surroundings, George tried to become at ease with himself. And he tried to distract himself from his wild imagination. And he was suddenly stirred, faintly remembering that it all begins with a knock on the door.
Just a minute, I'll be right there. I'll be right there. I'll be right there.
Just a minute. I'll be right there. I'll be right there. George, Barbara, welcome.
Congratulations, guys. Oh, it's wonderful.
George, are you okay? Everything's going to be all right. Trust me.